So this is everything that it came with. You got your main sander, motor, and then it came with all of this stuff. So first thing we're going to do is tip this guy on its side and put the feet on it. So you can just slide this guy with the nut still on through that slot, bring it back here, and then to be able to thread it in, you need to push this in, and then it loosens that guy up, and you can tighten it down and finish tightening that nut. Now we're gonna take our belt, find the arrows, and we're going to put that in the direction that it's going to be running. So this one's going to be running this way. So on the front here it's running down. So you just need to line up that, loosen this guy up, and slip that belt right on there. And I usually just put it like to the edge of one wheel or just shy of, and then the same on the other. And when you adjust the tracking on it, you can get it to ride center if that's what you want. Now the dust cover goes on these two bolts, so we got to remove them. Now go to the top, we're going to install the cover for the idle arm, or for the idle, whatever. Just make sure it's not interfering with the belt at all. That looks pretty good. So if you need your belt to come up, you twist counterclockwise. If you need it to go down, turn it clockwise. Real simple. Now we're going to attach the lead screw bracket. It's going to go here, and this is going to have the shaft that comes up and raises up the table to sit wherever you want it on the belt. It says to install the lock handle with the thin washer, so you got to go through your washers and find the thin ones, and I think there's only one that this one of this washer. Now we're going to install the horizontal brace into this guy, so we need to put a nut on it so that we can lock it down later. So we'll just get it started in there, because we're going to have to adjust this in or out to line up with this guy. And then we're going to put our set screw or set bolt in there, and it's the 1/2 inch one. I think there's 2 of them. So we'll just get it in there just a little bit so that you can still slide whatever you need down into it. Now we're going to take the lead screw assembly, put it in here. Kind of tighten this down just to hold it for a second. And it says to put this halfway. So make sure when you put this guy in here that that guy is over on the right side and that guy is over on the left. So I'm going to take this guy that's threaded at the end, put it in there with a nut and a washer on this, Then I'm gonna slide it up through that hole. I'll tighten that down just to hold it for me. Then another washer and a nut on the top side. Now we're going to make sure that this bracket, the horizontal bracket, is parallel to the stand. Looks like I lucked out on this. It's parallel. So if it's not, you're going to have to take this out, slide it over, and spin this one rotation in or out, or half a rotation, I guess you could technically do it this, until you get it parallel. But I'm happy with that, so I'm leaving it right there. So now, with a 19, I'm going to tighten these guys down. And this one, since it's parallel. So this guy is going to go on the side with the arrow on the left, and you're going to put that threaded screw through there, put the thick washer in your handle right there, and this guy's already threaded. Now I'm going to loosen that arrow on the bottom and spin it around. And I'm just going to kind of 90 degree it. I'll do the same on this side. We're going to install this table with those two holes on the right, or the side that has 4 total on the right. We're going to use the 1-inch bolts with a washer. To raise it up, all you gotta do is loosen this set screw, loosen this guy, and then you can turn it. It raises it up, lower it. Once you're set, lock this down. And then tighten that guy down. So now we're going to square it up, so just loosen it a smidge. Put your square, or whatever you're going to use, right up flat against this, and then straight up against that, and make your adjustments. Once it's good, tighten it down nice and tight. And then what we're going to do is come down here. We're going to loosen this screw up where it's got the pointer. And we're going to spin that right to where it says 90. I'm going to bend mine up. Once it's right there, we're going to tighten it down. And that should now be accurate, so that if you want a 45, you can go either way. But you're going to have to, move your table in or out. Now we're going to wire it up for 110 power. So we're disconnecting the yellow and black, and we're going to reconnect the yellow with the red and blue. It's even got a diagram right there. Now we're going to disconnect the blue and white, and we're going to add the black to that. And now it's wired up for 220, so alright guys, that's the assembly of the G1140 6x48 or 6x80 belt sander from Grizzly. I didn't see any videos on assembling it, and since I was going through it, I figured I'd throw it out for you. The only thing I didn't show was this guy, because my memory got full, so I couldn't record it anymore. But it's pretty simple, it's self-explanatory. You just put in this rod into some set screws, and then you have 2 set screws here to raise and lower it. So the reason I went with the 6x80 is because on the vertical or on the horizontal like this, you can really flatten some parts. On the 6x48, you're really only doing like 10 to 11 inches at most if you're holding it upright. This one I can get, I think 24, maybe even more. But what's cool is like on the 6x48, when you're sanding, if you look at it, everything will be slightly crowned like that, no matter how sharp of a belt you got. But on this guy, you push it up there like a nice 18-inch plate, and just push it in a couple times and look down it, and it's evenly sanded down the whole thing. It doesn't have a crown to it. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted one of these. The only downside is if you're trying to flatten parts that are like, you know, like I did some 1.5-inch square tubing that was angled. Trying to put that angle on there and keeping it from cutting in on you is, it takes a little bit of practice, but they do have this guy to help so that it's more like a vertical, and that's pretty nice for some of the smaller things. But once you get used to doing it, it's not a problem. They're about, I want to say almost 3 times as expensive as a 6x48, but man, to me it's worth it. I saved up a long time to get it, so I actually got this in March, and I ordered it in November, and they're back ordered that long. So I got it when I got my bandsaw and my pan brake. So anyways, I'm pretty stoked about it. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe if you did, and comment on anything you'd like to see. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good one.